So today we are going to start with a very interesting chapter, chapter number 13, Decision Structure. This chapter is full of practicals and it's a very interesting chapter. Now, most of the C programs presented so far follow the sequential structure of a program execution. The instructions are executed one by one sequentially in the order which they appear in the program. That means, suppose if you have written 10 statements, then compiler will first execute the first statement, then second statement, then third statement, like that way. So till now we have prepared that simple types of program in which the sequence was fixed. It used to go in the same sequence. But in real life practice, during the execution of C program, we may want to execute only some of the statements based on some conditions. For example, if you have prepared a program or a software and you have set a password, okay, then the first you will start the writing of that program with enter your password. Now if the password matches, okay, then only the program should open, otherwise it should give a message and re-enter the password. So here the flow of program changes on the user's input. Suppose if he enters correct password, then the program will open, and if he enters wrong password, then error message will come. So for this purpose, it is required to change the flow of the sequence of instructions. C language provides facility through special kind of statements that can change the flow of a sequence of instructions in the program. Such statements are called decision statement. Remember this word, it could be asked in the MCQ. It is called decision structure statement. All those who are new on my channel, please do subscribe the channel so that you don't miss any updates, and also like and share the video so that other students also get the advantage of this video. Fine, now we come to the next topic, that is need for decision structures in C language. Then decision structure statements help us to jump from one part of the program to another part of the program based on results of some conditions. Okay, so after the condition, the flow of program should be changed. Sometimes decision structure statement are also known as selective structure statements or branching statements or decision making statements. Now, as these statements are controlling the flow of the execution, they are also known as control statement. C provides basic two types of decision structure statements. First type is if. If statement is very common and it's not used only in C language but everywhere it's used. Even in Excel you had made the use of if function, right? And second one is switch. This is also a multi decision structure. When we come to practicals, I will teach you switch statement. Now first we will discuss about the if statement. The if statement is one of the powerful decision making statement which can be used to transfer control of instructions execution. Now there are four ways. The if statement can be used in the following four ways. Okay, now this four also could be asked in the MCQ. How many ways could if statement be used? It was asked in the previous year's exam also. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 4 ways. First way is simple if statement. Second one is if else statement. If the condition is true, then do this, else do that. that is if and else. Nested if means checking of multiple conditions. Okay, nesting of if. And else if ladder. That is also like nested if only. Fine. Now we start with simple if statement. The simple if form of the decision structure statement is the if statement. So this also could be asked in the MCQ. I have forgotten to change the color of the font. Which is the simplest form of decision structure? Then answer is if statement. It is frequently used in the program for decision making and allowing us to change the flow of the program. Now practically we will try to understand this thing, the use of if statement. So we will prepare a program that will ask the student or user to enter the marks of one subject, and the output of the program will be, it will be displayed congratulations message if the marks which are entered by the students are greater than 80. Okay, so this I will do practically. So first I will do the documentation, that is example 1. Example to illustrate the use of simple if. Okay, because we are going to use 4 types of if. So this is the example of simple if. Now include studio.h and conyo.h, then void main, curly brackets open and clear screen, semicolon. Fine. Now we declare a integer variable named marks. Now we will ask the user to enter his or her marks. So I give a printf here, printf double quotes, enter your marks. I will leave space between this, that will look good, semicolon. Now we will scan the marks. Scanf %d, ampersand marks, semicolon. Now we are going to make the use of simple if statement. So what shall we do? If we compare here, the syntax is like this way: if, then brackets open, and then marks, condition, that is marks greater than 80. So here we have put a condition that if the marks are greater than 80, then what to do? Okay, so here the output we will give is printf congratulations. Okay, and also we will put a new line. We don't know whether we may need to use that new line or not. Fine. So one thing you must observe is wherever we have put if and then condition, after that I have not put a semicolon here. Remember that thing. If you put a semicolon here, then it will have no meaning of what statement you have written here. Okay, so if, then in brackets condition, and then no semicolon after that. Then if the condition becomes true, that is if the marks are greater than 80, what would you like to do? So I would like to give a printf that congratulations. So that part I have to write here. Okay, fine, my program ends here. I give a get ch and curly brackets. Fine, now I run the program or I compile the program, whatever. Compile, success, run, enter your marks. I enter the marks 90. It didn't give me any output. What is the reason behind that? I will try it once again. Enter your marks. 89. Congratulations. Okay. So my mistake was, first I had pressed the numeric keyboard's key which was not working, and then I had pressed other key, so it had not taken the input as 90 but something else. So once again I will prove that thing. Now I will enter 90. Okay, congratulations. Now another thing. If the marks we enter is less than 80, then what will happen? Then we have not specified what to do. This is simple if. We have not specified what to do, so the program will end. Just observe. Now I enter the marks as 79. Right? It is less than 80. Then enter. Program will end. Just see. Did you see? It didn't give any output. Program got end. So this is the usage of simple if. Now we have a look at syntax of simple if statement. Then the syntax is something like this way, which we already saw just now. If into bracket test expression, then curly bracket, it is optional. Then statement block, for example just now we had given a statement block printf congratulations, and then curly bracket. Okay, now if it's optional, then why it is given in the textbook, that I will tell you. It's given because if you want to execute multiple statements here, just now we had just executed one statement, that printf congratulations, but if you want to execute some more statements, then to specify that these all statements are the true part of the text expression, we need to put curly brackets. So whatever statements you write in the between the curly bracket will be executed if the text expression becomes true. Now here text expression is any. Now one more thing I will explain you. This test expression, what is it? It is any valid C language expression. The logical operators are used in test expression. Then we come to statement block. Then statement block may contain any valid C language statement or statements, right? Note that the text expression part should not end with a semicolon. That I had already told you that here don't put semicolon. Then the syntax says if the test expression is true, then executable statement block, and if the text expression is false, then computer skips the statement block and executes the next instruction of the program. Just now in the example we had not given any next instruction, so it completed the program, right, without executing this thing. Another thing, C programming language assumes any non-zero and non-null values as true, and if it is either 0 or null, then it is assumed as false. Now we just have a look at the flow chart of a simple if statement. Then this is the flow chart. The first thing was entry. Okay, the student entered his marks. Then next step was test expression. We had tested marks greater than 80. If yes, then whatever we had written here in the statement block, that is printf congratulations, will get printed, and then the program will exit. And if the marks are not greater than 80, then straight away the program will exit. So this is the flow chart of simple if statement. Thereafter we come to the if else statement. In simple if statement, there is only one statement block which gets executed only when text expression is true. Simple if statement takes no action in case when the text expression is false. Means if it is less than 80, then it doesn't take any action, right? It doesn't execute anything. Now just try to understand what happens if we want to take some action in case of false answer from text expression. Okay, now you will not be able to understand. I will explain you with an example. That for example, if you for example, if the marks of students is greater than 80, we display congratulations, but if it is less than 80, then we want to display a message work hard. Then how to do this thing? So in such cases, if else structure is very useful. I have forgotten to change the color of if else structure. It should be red here because MCQ could be formed from here. Okay, so in such circumstances, if else statement is used. So practically I will make some modification in the program which we had written just now and explain you the use of if else statement. So here in this program I make some modification. First I will make it full screen. Okay. So here I have already given if part. Now else part I have to use like this way. Else. Okay, now whatever I want to print, that I have to print after that. I want to print work hard. Right? Fine. So like this way I have done. Now I will compile the program and run the program. Fine. Now I enter the marks below 80. I enter 50 marks. Okay. Work hard. 55, then work hard. Once again I show you. Suppose I enter above 80 marks, 99 marks, congratulations. And if I enter only 9 marks, then work hard. So this is the use of if and else, or it is known as if else statement. Now we discuss the syntax of if else statement. It's very simple. If into bracket test expression, optional curly bracket, then statement block if the condition becomes true. Else, in the else part, here by mistake I have typed capital A, it is small e. Else, statement block which you want to print if the condition becomes false. Now we try to understand the same concept using a flow chart of if else statement. Then in the flow chart, if we try to understand, the first thing is entry, then comes test expression, right? Now if test expression becomes true, then whatever we have written in the true part block, that will be executed. And then next what will happen? Next the program will come to an end, since after that we have not written any statements. Another possibility is if the condition becomes false, then whatever we have written in the false part, that will be executed, those statements will be executed, and finally the program will come to an end, that is, it will exit. So this is the flow chart of if else. Then we come to nested if else statement. In board practical exams, the question which will be asked, it will be maybe of 10 marks, that will be from either from nested if or it may be from else if ladder. But be sure, practical question will be asked 10 marks. Now there are situations where we need to execute series of decisions in our program. We may use series of if else statement in nested form to achieve our task. Now if we want to check multiple conditions, then we will have to use if else so many times, right? Now consider the following case wherein if else statement is used inside another if else block. Okay, we see an example in which if else statement is used inside another if else block. So how it is? First thing is test expression 1, then curly bracket. Now here it's useful if you use the curly bracket. If there are more than one thing, then fine. Then if this condition becomes true, then execute the second condition, if test expression 2. If this becomes true, then print whatever you want to print, that is statement block. Next possibility, if second condition doesn't become true but first condition is true. Okay, first condition is true, that is you are inside this curly bracket. Okay, now second condition is not false, so you are in the else part of this if else. Okay, then in else whatever statement block you have written, that will be executed. Here we name it as statement block 2. Now if the first condition only doesn't become true, the first test expression only doesn't become true, then else. Again here I have typed capital E, it is small e. Else, then statement block 3. Now here there are not so many statements, so I have not made the use of the curly brackets. So this type of thing is known as if-else statement. Now one thing you have to remember is the structure shown above is just for example. It may depend on the program where and how you have to use the if and else. Every time it will not be the same. For example, we take another example here. Text expression 1. Then if it becomes true, straight away execute block 1. Now here no expression 2 is to be checked. And if test expression 1 is wrong, then in the else part expression 2 is to be checked. If that becomes false, if that becomes true, then statement block 2 will be executed, and if it becomes false, then else part of that will be executed, statement block 3. So it is not fixed like this way that every time if will come first and else, and then no, it depends on which problem you are solving, where to put the if and else. Now practically we will solve an example. What example we will solve? We try to understand a C program to read 3 numbers from user. So we will ask the user to enter any 3 numbers, okay, and display the largest number of the 3 numbers using nested if statement. Okay, now after the user enters the 3 numbers, we will store it in 3 variables, and then we will go on checking, comparing with each other, and using this thing, that is what is it known as nested if, we will find the solution. This type of program is not at all new for you. Why? Because even though you have not done the example in C language, but the thing is, the same program we had learned how to solve, or what logic is to be used when I was teaching you the flow chart thing, chapter number 9 I think so, I don't remember exactly, but while teaching you chapter number 9, that is the flow chart, at that time I had taught you how to find the solution of this type of problem. That is, there I had given an example that asked the student to enter 3 students to enter their age, and on the basis of his age you had to decide and tell that which student age is smaller or bigger, something like that way. Fine. So same logic we are going to apply here. So I start the program, include studio.h, conio.h, and void main. Now I declare 3 variable of integer data type, n1, n2. You can keep any name. In the textbook it's kept number 1, number 2, number 3. I have kept small names, n1, n2, n3. Right? Now we ask the user to enter the 3 numbers. So for that we use printf statement. Then we scan the value which the user enter using scanf function. We use %d, %d, comma, name of the variable n1, n2, n3. Fine. So the values are scanned. Now we start our work using else, if else. using the if else nested if. So first comparison we do between n1 and n2. If n1 is greater than n2, okay, then next step will be, now it's not necessary to write this curly bracket little bit inside, but I am writing it inside so that it improves the reading quality of the program. You come to know that this is a sub point. Now we check another condition, that chalo, first condition is true, that is if n1 is greater than n2, yes, n2 is greater, that is the condition is true. Then next thing we have to check is it's greater than n2. Now is it greater than n3? If yes, then printf what? The largest or biggest number is percentage D. Now here will come n1, right? We will display the value lying in n1. So here I hope you have understood the logic, since it is a repeated logic which we had already done in flowchart. Now see, n1, if it is greater than n2, means in this 2 n1 as 1. Now then we compare it with n3. In n1 and n3 also n1 is great. So it is bigger than both of this. So straight away we have to print this thing is bigger. Now here I put else. Now you may have observed that I have not used curly bracket right now, because it's not necessary, only one statement I am using inside if and else. Now another thing, here we put an else, that the largest number is n3. Percentage D, comma n3. Because if in n1 and n2, n1 was bigger, so now we don't need to compare n3 with n2. Try to understand this logic. You don't again need to compare n2 and n3. It is already n2 is smaller, and that is why we are inside this if. So now there is no need to compare n2 and n3. Straight away you declare n3 is biggest. Fine. Now remember, here you have to close this curly bracket, since this if else part is also over here. Okay, fine. Now we come to the next thing, and that is we use else. What does this else means? That n1 is not greater than n2, right? n1 is not greater than n2. Then what to do? Then do like this way, that in this else part, check if n3 is greater than n2. Okay, hope you understood the logic. If n2 greater than n3, then printf what? The biggest number is n3, or biggest number is percentage D, comma n3. Here also will come else. Else printf biggest number is percentage T, comma n2. And we close this curly bracket here. Now we end the program with a get ch and curly bracket. Now I try to run the program, compile, errors. It is showing errors. We will try to find what is the error. It is showing statement missing, right? in 11th line it is showing me statement missing. I'll have to see to it what is missing there. First thing is, here I had forgotten to add AND while scanning the value at the address of. Right? Fine, that thing I had. Now I try to run the program again and check, compile, again errors. It says showing me statement missing. If N1 greater than N2. I don't think so anything is missing here. Yeah, here it is missing. Semicolon. Fine. Compile. Success. Now I run the program. Enter 3 numbers. I am entering very simple numbers. First number is 5. Enter. Second number is 10. To change that it is a different number, you have to press enter key. 10, and then third number I enter is 15. So 3 numbers I have entered, 5, 10 and 15. So it's displaying the correct answer. The biggest number is 15. Shall we try it once again? Just see. I enter 3 numbers, 1, 2 and 3. Now I check. The biggest number is 3. So successfully we have prepared the program to find out which is the biggest number using the nested if-else statement. Hope you have understood this thing. Please like the video. Now, since from this chapter practical questions are to be asked in the final exams, and that one question will carry 10 marks. So you need to learn how to solve this type of problems, and for that, after watching my video, you have to prepare some C programs which I am giving. Write a C program to perform the following task. First program will be check whether a number is positive or negative. So you will have to first ask the user to enter a number, then you will have to scan that number, and then using if you have to check whether it is positive or negative, if and else. Okay, 2 things. Then next thing, read age of a student, of a person, and display whether that person is eligible to vote or not. Right? By mistake I have typed here NOT not, it is NOT not. Okay, whether is able to vote or not. So in that you will have to check his age, and you have to put the condition. You will have to store that value of person in a variable named age, and you will have to compare. Is age greater than 18? Then you will have to give the if part. Yes, then you are eligible. And else. In else part you will have to write no, you are not eligible. And third number is just similar to the program which we did just now. That is read 3 numbers from user and display the smallest of these 3 numbers using nested if. So here we complete this video. We meet in the next video, which will be the last part of chapter number 13. Thank you.